Hey everybody, week 4 in the NFL is almost here, so here are my picks here on the Off the Mic Sports Network for week 4 in the National Football League. So let's start with the Thursday night game coming up here relatively shortly. 1-2 Cowboys versus the 1-2 Giants. I did not have that to start the season. This is in New York at MetLife Stadium. Crossover, a little bit of news on the sports entertainment front. MetLife Stadium is going to be hosting SummerSlam, the first ever 2-night event, so that's very cool. But this is on Prime Video. Cowboys favored by 5.5. I'll take the Cowboys. Typically, these games are relatively close between the Cowboys and the Giants. So I'll take the Giants plus the 5.5, but I think Dallas wins here. I think the Giants last week, a product of just, how much of a broken mess of a football team the Cleveland Browns are. But the Cowboys have issues. They have issues. And if they don't win this game, there's going to be a lot of conversation within Cowboy land. Whether or not Mike McCarthy deserves to lose his job, because he was already on thin ice to begin with. So I'll take the Cowboys to win, but the Giants to cover. Saints at the Falcons. Saints at 2-1, coming off of a low-scoring loss to the Philadelphia Eagles at home. Falcons coming off a really mismanaged and kind of it was a game they could have had against the 49ers, not the 49ers, a game they could have had against the Chiefs. And it's going to be really interesting to see how the Falcons rebound. It'll be interesting to see what Kirk Cousins does. I'm going to take Atlanta here. They're favored by 2.5. It just feels like the right way to go. Saints, I'm just not sure, man. Even though they were scoring a boatload of points in the first 2 weeks, it's like you were playing the Panthers and the Cowboys. Clearly, we've seen through 3 weeks, those are two of the worst defenses in the NFL. You faced the Eagles, you scored 12 points. So I'm not saying it's going to be like that, but I'll take Atlanta to win and to cover that 2.5. Rams at the Bears. Rams coming off a monster win against the 49ers, dropping the 49ers to 1-2. Matt Stafford still really, dealing with a lot of injuries across the wide receiver core. That being said, Caleb Williams has been running for his life for the Bears. The Bears are favored by 3 in this game. Normally in these spots, I typically go with the home team because it's a West Coast team going east. It almost never works out. We've seen it work in certain cases. I just think the Rams have so much to overcome, and the Bears defense is actually playing pretty solid this year. So I wouldn't want to screw around with that. I'll take the Bears to win and cover, actually, in this one. I actually think Caleb Williams will play pretty well in this game if he's protected, and I think there's a good chance that that's happening. Oh, this is a good one. Vikings at Packers. There's no real clarity as to whether or not that Jordan Love is going to play in this game. I think it just doesn't matter. I think the Vikings are one of the best teams in the NFL right now. And it's because Sam Darnold's got 8 touchdown passes. He's not making any killer mistakes. The Packers are favored by 2.5 at home. It's always tough to go to Lambeau. But I'm going to go with the Vikings here, man. I'm going to have them go to 4-0, man. It's going to be a tough test. It'll be a lot tougher if Jordan Love's able to play. They found a way to make it work with Malik Willis. I just think the underrated part of the Vikings, a lot of people are focusing on Sam Darnold, but Brian Flores has been doing a really good job with this defense. So I'm really looking forward to this game. This will be really, really interesting. Vikings, I got them to win plus the 2.5, and I'll take them outright to win the game. Steelers at the Colts. The Colts getting a win last week over the Bears, but it has been bumpy. Anthony Richardson's already got 6 interceptions on the season. The Steelers' defense is playing lights out so far this season. They're 3-0. We talked about it with Danny here on the Mad Sports Show here on this channel. There's a couple of ways that this game could go. Either the Steelers are just going to, grind us out like they have, because I don't think they're going to blow away the Colts, even if the Colts are making a bunch of mistakes. But they could, because I just don't know if Anthony Richardson makes any of these crippling mistakes that they're going to be able to overcome this, and the Steelers would just come down to Justin Fields not messing it up. But the other way that this could go is this is the classic Mike Tomlin letdown game, where a game that they are clearly, I'm not going to say clearly, but the game that they're the favorite in on the road, and they play down to their competition and lose a clunker. I'm going to go with the Steelers winning this game, -2. I think they win. I just think Anthony Richardson is just not – it's too much of a concern and a roller coaster at this point that the Steelers are going to capitalize on some mistakes. They'll sack him. They'll pressure him. They'll confuse him. And it'll lead to some turnovers, and I just don't think the Colts are going to be able to overcome it, even if the Steelers don't have I've only scored 3 touchdowns this year. I think the Steelers are going to have enough to win this game. Broncos at the Jets. Bo Nix, nice job going on the road and getting a win, but you're going to the Meadowlands. Second game actually here. The site of SummerSlam 2025 is going to be really busy. Jets are favored by 7.5. Listen, hey, Bo Nix, I've given him credit. He's actually played a little bit better than I expected, and getting that win in Tampa is a whole different thing. The Jets defense is just scary. Sauce Gardner, Quinnen Williams, like they've got dudes all over the place. And Aaron Rodgers, man, I don't like him, man, but he's playing really good football, coming off of not playing almost all of last season outside of 4 snaps. The Jets are going to win this game, and I think it may get ugly. Like I think the Jets are going to cover that monster number of 7.5. Eagles at the Bucks. Bucks coming off a home loss, which was a little bit surprising. The Eagles barely getting a win in New Orleans. Eagles are favored by 2. Give me Baker. Give me Baker in the Bucks +2. I don't trust Nick Sirianni. I don't trust Jalen Hurts. The Bucks last year in the playoffs, I know it was a different time. There's concern about Devontae Smith. There's maybe A.J. Brown plays. Saquon has been outstanding, and he's one of the main reasons that Nick Sirianni probably still has a job right now. But yeah, give me the Bucks to send the Eagles into their bye week at 2-2, and we'll see. They're probably not going to get rid of Nick Sirianni, and the Browns will have to face this Eagles team off of a loss and coming off of a bye. Bengals and the Panthers. This is really interesting. Really, really interesting. Bengals 0-3 walking into Carolina and facing their former quarterback, the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton at 1-2, coming off that mammoth, really shocking win at Vegas. Cincinnati is favored by 4.5. I'm taking the Bengals here. It would be a nice story to see, Andy Dalton beat his former team and send them to 0-4 and effectively, end the Zach Taylor era. Because if Zach Taylor loses this game and falls to 0-4, they're going to fire him. They should fire him. And if they don't, they really don't know what they're talking about. But I think the Bengals are just way too talented to blow a game like this on the road, even if it's on the road. The Panthers are not a good football team. It was a nice performance from Andy Dalton, but it's more of a reflection also of just how bad and messed up that Vegas Raiders team is. Like, you heard some of the comments from Antonio Pierce. But the Panthers really just catching somebody off guard. I think the Bengals will be ready for this, especially on a short week. So I'll take the Bengals to win that one. Jags at the Texans. Good luck to the Jags. Good luck to the Jags here, because the Texans are pissed off. They got humiliated in Minnesota. They're at home. They're favored by 6. The Jags look hopeless. They're on a short week too. I think C.J. Stroud's just going to go crazy in this game. The Houston Texans are going to blow him out. And I think we're going to have a conversation. And Doug Peterson's probably going to be the first coach off the board. Because if they lose in humiliating fashion in back-to-back weeks, I just don't know, given the nature of how Shad Khan operates, that he's going to want to wait around for something to change. Like, I think the Jags are going to fall to 0-4. The Texans are going to win this game. Commanders at Cardinals. This is going to be a lot of fun. Because you've got the running quarterback of the past, really, with Kyler Murray, and the running quarterback of the future in Jaden Daniels, who's just been outstanding so far this season. Leading in, he's one of the tops in completion percentage, but Kyler Murray's been playing well. Arizona typically plays well at home. They did have a tough game against the Lions where they only scored 13 points. Give me the Commanders, +3.5. Arizona's favored in this game. Give me the Commanders in this game. I really like what I've seen from Dan Quinn. Their defense, doing just enough to get by. Yeah, they gave up 33 points. They were playing Joe Burrow. And I just love this kid, Jaden Daniels, man. Like, he just comes in there with a confidence and a swagger that you're not seeing. Like, and it's easier to do that, especially for all you Bears fans who want to say, yeah, we should have taken it. It's like Caleb Williams is running for his life. Jaden obviously is being elusive, but also having better protection, I think, has helped him. But yeah, give me the Commanders on the road plus the 3.5 to win this game. 49ers at home, a lot of injuries on their side, but they're at home against the Patriots. The Patriots have had a long time to think about that butt kicking from Thursday night last week against the Jets. Listen, I like how hard that Gerard Mayo's team is playing. The 49ers are just supremely talented, even down significant pieces. And they know that they let that game get away against the Rams. They should have won that game. So I think the 49ers are going to blow out the Patriots. Even if 10's a big number, give me the Niners to win this game. Okay, here we go. Fasten your seatbelts. Browns at the Raiders. Raiders are favored by 2. That's more of a reflection of just how much of a mess this Browns team is, because the Raiders had a worse loss last week. They got humiliated at home by a Carolina Panthers team that's one of the worst in the league. At least the Browns, it was a 6-point game, but they never really had a chance. This to me has to be a Deshaun Watson game, because if it's not, at what point, and you lose, at what point do you have to consider pulling the plug? The Raiders are not good. They're not good defensively. You can run up and down the field on them. I would try to, if Jerome Ford can hang on to the ball, I'd run the ball heavy with him and D'Onta Foreman. D'Onta Foreman was great in week 2. They didn't use him a whole hell of a lot in week 3. I didn't understand that. Amari Cooper, kind of a Amari Cooper revenge game, because he used to be a Raider. That'll be interesting. I'm a little worried about how the Browns are going to defend Gardner Minshew, because Gardner Minshew caused some problems for them when he was with the Colts last year. But I'll take the Browns against my better judgment, plus the 2. I think they're the better team. I think they have the better coach, Antonio Pierce. But I have concerns about how they're going to hold up in protection against guys like Max Crosby in that defense. So I'll take the Browns. I'm not feeling very particularly good about that. And just brace yourselves if this team falls to 1-3 and Deshaun Watson plays terrible on Sunday. Chiefs at Chargers. Ooh, this will be interesting. Chiefs are 3-0, getting by the skin of their teeth against the Chargers at SoFi Stadium. Kansas City's favored by 7 in this game. You know what? Listen, I think a lot of this hinges on Justin Herbert and his health. But even at that point, with a week to prepare and you bring in Taylor Heineke, a veteran quarterback, to be the backup, I trust that the Chargers and Jim Harbaugh are going to keep this close. So I'll take the Chargers plus the 7, but Kansas City's going to go to 4-0. Kansas City's just the better team at this point. If Justin Herbert plays, then there's a chance that Los Angeles, the Chargers could win this game. But I'll go with Kansas City to win this game, but I'll take the Chargers plus the 7. Bills at Ravens on Sunday Night Football. The Ravens are favored by 2.5. I just love what I've seen from this Bills team. Even on a short week, I just love what they're doing. They're doing it while passing. They're doing it while running. They're playing good defense. They've typically always played the Ravens in Baltimore pretty toughly. So, I have a lot of questions about the Ravens. And even if the Ravens get a lead, they haven't been able to hold anything. And in close games, they've faltered. They lost the close game to Kansas City. They lost the close game to the Raiders. They barely escaped against the Cowboys in a game that they were up by a huge number. So, yeah, give me the Bills plus 2.5 to win and do it outright. So, Titans at Dolphins. Man, what a stinker on Monday night this is going to be. Remember, the Titans came back, and this really started the Dolphins' downfall to ultimately, falling out of the division. I don't even know who the quarterback's going to be for the Dolphins. I really don't. It sounds like Raheem Mostert's going to be back in the running game. Listen, Miami's favored by 1. Tennessee's not good. You know what? Fuck it. I'll take the Titans. I'll take the Titans plus the 1, and they'll win, because I have no idea what to expect from Miami at the quarterback position at this point. I just don't. I just don't. I really don't know what to expect from Tennessee. Seahawks-Lions is going to be a really good game in the second Monday night game. From Ford Field. Seahawks are 3-0. This is going to be easily their biggest test of the season. They're 3-0, but they haven't really played anybody of note. They've really had, I'm not going to say an easy ride. You got to win these games, but this is going to be the first real test for Mike McDonald. I'll take the Lions plus minus the 3.5. This is a tough ask for the Seahawks to go to Detroit, one of the toughest places to play, and get a W. But I'm really looking forward to this game, because the Seahawks scored a ton of points against them last year when they played. This will be a really fun game on Monday Night Football. But I'm counting on the Lions defense to play really well, cause trouble for Geno Smith, and that should be a win for the Lions, minus the 3.5. But it should be a fun game. But I think the Lions will end up covering that spread. So that's week 4 in the NFL. Thanks for watching. We'll have a lot more NFL content here on the channel as well. I might have a more in-depth preview of the Browns. We'll have some college football stuff here as well, wrestling stuff, perfect blend of sports entertainment here on the Off the Mic Sports Network. And until next time, I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye-bye.